Hello, my friends. Have you ever wondered what the heck you're doing here? What your purpose is here? Now, this has plagued me most of my life. I've always felt this was an important lifetime for me, but I've always felt that I was pushing and struggling to reach some finish line that I didn't even know what it was. I want to propose a thought of contentment based on the word participation. And it relates to the last video where I talked about us participating in the expansion and completion in return of the eternal energy systems. Also, in the participating in the flow of the human species consciousness now, and its particular evolutionary track on this planet where us light bringers are trying to hold the potential of human creation in spite of a lot of darkness that we witness outside of us and also struggle with on the inside of us. And of course, the flow of the earth herself, who we all care so deeply about. But there is another flow, another beat, another rhythm, another thread that we should feel content with simply by participating as an individuated awareness within these greater flows. We're going to talk about how our identity is formed and carried in all these flows. And it's through the very misunderstood word karma. I had a deceased horse who taught me what karma was. It was something that I've never heard before, that karma is energetic patterns that we form in each manifesting level through the memory of what occurred to us, but it's more than the memory. Karma is formed by the way that we relate to the circumstances of our lifetime or our experience. When we have an emotional attachment or a belief about events in our life, or even an aversion, this forms energetic patterns like clumps of energy in our aura, in our emotional body, in our mind. And these can ultimately work their way into our physical body. I've done a lot of work on karma. Karma gets a bad rap. Karma is simply our identity. Our identity is formed within these energetic patterns in each manifestation. Of course, we have a life review when we transition to another level out of physical. I have a thought. I'm beginning to believe now that our life review is the release of our cellular memory as life leaves the cells. Because I've been told that it takes a while for the energies to take flight. So our awareness registers all these events that are coming out of our cells. Some of them are what we would think of as good, and some of them are what we would think of as bad. And in between lifetimes, we decide what we're going to keep in our identity. We sort all this out. The things we don't want to repeat, the things we do want to repeat. They gave me some examples of this in my own life. I have a deep understanding of my relationship, my connection to this earth. Most of my lifetimes were in Amazonia, and they told me that my pets have better lifetimes than I did there. I was so immersed in the natural world that they were more animalistic in nature. But I kept that love of nature with me in the thread of my own identity. They also said something interesting about if we had been female through most of our lifetimes, and then we decided to have a lifetime as a male or vice versa, that we may experience gender dysphoria because of our past life memories of this identity. And we may try and reach a physical representation of what we were used to in past lives. So androgynous expression, I think if they've had experiences as both male and female in their lifetimes. So here we are participating in all these flows and adding our own awareness. We contribute our awareness to the expansion of the eternal, to our human choice and evolution, and our progression in our planet. Now, we could think of the location of our identity in a metaphorical sense being encoded in our DNA, because the karma that we choose to keep with us in our life review as learning, again, or as mistakes that we don't want to repeat, are in a blueprint that we carry that's made of light. So in the physical body, we can think of the location of this as being in our DNA. And they did mention that we can carry ancestral blueprints as well, encoded in our DNA, that we don't express because they're really not ours. They're from our ancestral memories. I thought that was pretty interesting. The DNA is simply the location that we can relate to in our body as our blueprint. We have both positive, neutral, and negative karma that we are carrying in each lifetime based on circumstances and how we feel about them. It has been my life work to clear the negativity of my reaction and confusion about my early life, particularly. We can change our light codes. It came through in a meditation that the only place where we can change our karmic identity is in the manifesting level where that karma was created. And that might give us an explanation of our purpose here, why we came back, to clear any limiting karma that we may not want to carry forward. It was also mentioned that the more individuated a species is, the more important this identity in these energetic forms in our thread, in our blueprint, are to heal and change. So that gives us an interesting perspective of a purpose here, to change our spiritual DNA. I'd love to hear your comments. And until I see you again, please be well and please be blessed. Thanks for coming.